Hello.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Hello,
Welcome to the
we're
show.
here. Welcome
The
to the show.
the big show, the Monday show. Um, Ivy,
The
how's it
show
going?
before the other show.
Yeah.
True.
I, you know, honestly, I've been having the craziest month.
Yeah.
Um,
Any info that you want to provide to folks?
oh man, so it's a little embarrassing, but I've been dealing with a flea infestation for the past month because I have two cats, and they're indoor outdoor cats. And lately, they've been hanging out with some stray cats in our yard, and the stray cats had fleas and gave the fleas to our cats. And we happened to slip on their flea medication for 1 month, just one time. And now it's like a flea apocalypse.
Flea apocalypse.
So last weekend we had to evacuate our home so that pest control could get in here and do their thing. But otherwise, it's been like flea war. So that's been my
Flea
life
war.
lately. It's been hell. How are you guys?
Hunter, how are you?
I'm doing great. I did Paper Aviator's weekend album multiplayer jam over the
Yeah.
weekend. That was good. I had 16 people sent me stems of improvisation, and I assembled a piece of music from that,
That's
which was
cool.
awesome. Um,
Wow.
Fall is starting to happen here. It's overcast and rainy, and it's supposed to be for the next 6 days. So we're in it here in Portland.
Do you like that?
I'm happy about it. Yeah, I think summer is a season of excessive everything, including excessive heat and excessive sun. I like the sun, but a
Oh.
little bit of this kind of more subdued
Yeah.
life.
Yeah. Sorry, I accidentally clicked on a different scene in OBS, but I changed it back super quick.
Oh,
Um,
go back.
When you said excessive everything, my brain just kept going excessive fleas. That's my
I
answer.
think this summer for you has been the season
Ivy's
of
got
excessive
Ivy's got
fleas.
fleas
Yes.
on the brain. Are you sure some didn't make it
Apparently,
into your brainstem?
they might have. Honestly, they only like to bite me. Nobody in my family gets bit except me, and I've been bitten like 40 times. And I feel like people keep like gaslighting me and going, "Are you sure it's fleas?" And I'm just like, "Yes, I'm sure it's fleas." It's like, well, only you're getting bitten. I don't know what
That's
to tell
rude.
you.
So rude. People so rude.
How are you, Miles?
I'm doing good. I'm a little tired. Um,
You look sleepy.
I am sleepy. I'm trying to think of what's happening. Um, yeah, I had a busy weekend. I had brunch with my family, which was a lot, but it was fine. And um, yeah, a classic Mercury brunch is you show up at the specified time, and you might think, okay, brunch is going to be ready at that time. You're wrong. Brunch is going to be ready 2 hours after that. Um, and so I arrived and no one else was there. And I was like, all right, okay, this is how it goes. And then we ate about 2 hours later, but it was still tasty. And then I went to the studio that I had recorded a single in the day before, and I recorded a spooky Halloween song for weekend album multiplayer.
Ooh.
Um, and I had a lot of fun doing it. Um, yeah. Um, anyway, that's how
I'm
I
sorry
am.
I couldn't join WAMP this weekend.
Chris says, what was the best food? Um, my brother made these like really tasty potatoes that were really good, and also uh, waffles. I like waffles. Big waffle fan. Um, yeah. Um, that's how I am. So we're all in. We're in three different camps right now. Yeah, but why don't we? We've got a lot of questions. We'll see if we can get
A lot
through
of
all of them in
very
an
in-depth
hour.
questions this month.
Let's do it.
Why don't we start on space, SBES, space.
Yes.
Who says, "Hi guys, hope you've been well. I've had HVB's new album on repeat for days, and I can't begin to express how grateful I am for that release. I have a couple questions. What do you have any thoughts on the current state of things regarding music streaming platforms?"
Oh yeah, this was the question that made me want to join. I just finished reading this book about, it's called Mood Machine. They put the library put the sticker over the word mood, so it just says machine. But it's called Mood Machine, and it is a very scathing piece of journalism about Spotify and about really also about the state of the music industry at large. Um, and yeah, it's definitely given me a lot to chew on because even though I feel like I have mostly been apprised of like some of the worst business practices that Spotify has engaged in, there was still a lot that I didn't know, including the fact that the guys who founded it didn't even really know that they wanted to do a music service in the beginning. They just wanted to sell ads to people. And they were like, well, maybe we could do like, a video platform. And, maybe they settled on music because that was like lower on storage space or whatever. They even furnished their like beta version of the product with like pirated MP3s just to like test it out. But I feel like the moral of the story with regarding music streaming platforms is that they are not really at all on the side of music as an art form or on the side of the artists whatsoever. And that goes like so deep in that like the big major labels have like huge like investment and stock in things like Spotify and are more or less running the show.
Yeah.
So it's not even just Spotify's fault, but it's like the people who have all the money in music are still trying to control all of the money in music and like siphon as much of that as they can from everybody else.
Yeah.
I've heard that, like, basically the idea. Well, obviously, I'm now learning that it was not the intention of the guys that made Spotify, but the idea is sort of to replace or to like be the middleman for labels, right? Not for artists. It's like a service for labels to keep collecting the revenue.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we actually don't know all that much about the contracts that Spotify and friends have with the major labels, but it's generally understood that they get like much better rates on royalties and stuff than like some of the smaller labels and distributors and like individual artists get. And yeah, I highly recommend this book to anybody who
Yeah.
really anybody who uses Spotify or anybody who cares about music as an art form. There's a lot that
It's
everybody
called
should
what?
know. It's
What's
called
called?
Mood Machine
Mood Machine.
by Liz Pelly.
Yeah.
Good book.
Yeah. Generally, I'll continue the question. With the influx of Gen AI music and scammers, many artists are pulling away from these services and keeping their music on Bandcamp. Would Infloresce ever consider pulling out of these services? And along with that, do you think there will be a resurgence of selling physical media? When a lot of news was coming out about Spotify in the last year or something like that, we presented to all of our artists that if they don't want their albums on Spotify, then we will take it down for them. I believe that two artists, on the level of the artist, depends on who it is. They depend on Spotify still, regardless of, however terrible it might be. And so we kind of left it up to the discretion of the artist. I think personally, I took my last two releases off Spotify and sent a takedown request to Ventifact. Yeah, because it's so bad. and it's such a small like it's such a small drop in the massive ocean of getting people to change their minds about this. But I think that's all you can really do is talk to people about it and also get your stuff off of there.
Yeah.
And invest in other services that are ethical or which is so hard to find, or
Just support your music communities directly.
yes, go outside and like give your
Go outside.
give a link to your neighbor. That's what I would suggest.
Spotify is like a multi-billion dollar corporation. It exists to turn a profit, and it exists to try to turn as much of a profit as it possibly can by getting stuff on its service as cheaply as possible and paying people as little as possible.
Yeah, because the people are not the market. The market is how to sell ads, selling ads.
Yes.
So the
Yes.
art does not matter. So
They do not
just
care
like
about
just like more any other major company, they really make nothing and provide nothing and add nothing.
I
Ivy,
think
what do you
They
Hunter,
think?
sell your data.
Hunter, your most recent album, we unchecked the Spotify box, and I believe
Yeah,
it
I
went to all
requested it.
platforms except Spotify.
Mhm.
I feel like it's such an unfair choice for us artists
Yeah, it
because, well, we're in a situation right now where basically, well, when I say we, I mean me and Slash. So, so you all know his song "The Penis Eek,"
Yes.
which is we never thought that would be like actually a not insignificant source of income for our family. um, but I bring this up because basically the experience we had was that Slash didn't put it up on streaming in the decade or two or whatever that it's existed because he just wanted it to be free for everybody. But what's happened instead is other people upload it and get the money for
Mhm.
it and
Yeah.
claim it. And so recently he just kind of had to go through all this lawsuit stuff to order like basically these other artists who are just uploading his stuff and pretending it's theirs off of Spotify. And so it's just this impossible situation where if you don't upload it, somebody will.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And like so it's like what do you do in that situation, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So
They
I
make it
just
a tremendous pain to try to deal with that too. We had to deal
they
with that
do.
with somebody was doing with that with all of the staff circ uploads and just like chopping it up all of the songs into like little minute long snippets and trying to make money
Horrible.
off of it.
So horrible. I feel like Spotify, I feel like the people who have it easy on there are like people who make AI music, people who illegally upload like renders of other people's music. And it's like, they do make it really hard for the actual artists to fight to take it down. Like, we
Yeah.
have more restrictions than these people.
Well,
And it just
the
feels like,
incentive is quantity over quality, and so
Yeah, for
so
sure.
people are incentivized to just upload as much as possible in the hopes that one catches on or gets added to a playlist, and I don't know, really contributes to a lot of the dead internet theory of like AI music getting uploaded to AI generated playlists that are getting fake plays online.
Mhm.
Like,
yeah, you guys have heard about that, right? Like, artists getting
yes.
punished for fake plays that
Yeah.
Yeah,
they have nothing to do with.
I think the like most sickening part of that idea is that like you as a random person can like pay a small amount of money for some bot service to then like stream somebody else's music to get them in trouble, which is like the most preposterous situation ever. It's unbelievable.
That's fine, and yet we get punished for it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So-
So
So
The
like,
answer is
you know,
yes.
so if you're on Spotify right now, you know, like I feel like I totally, well, I mean, as a listener, if you're on Spotify right now, I get it, because it's like you just want to listen to music that you like,
Yeah.
right? But literally any other streaming service is better. Like
Yes.
if you need one of the big ones, go to Apple Music, go to YouTube Music. Like literally anything is better than Spotify.
Yeah.
Like its CEOs invest in like military technology.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Like
like
we
several
don't
$billion.
yeah. So it's like, you know, our whatever amount you're paying per month, right? Like you don't want that going
Yeah.
towards like bombs
I
and missiles and like instead of us, right?
It is a
So
matter of convenience versus principle.
Yeah, for sure.
And
mhm.
They
I
built a convenience machine.
yes. I beg people to hold their principles above their convenience. Yes, Chris did make a really good zine about Spotify that's on her page, I think, and on Instagram, that I highly recommend seeking out. All
I
right.
thought about printing it out and bringing it to like just passing it out to people.
Yeah. Okay, this is a question for Ivy. Last Q&A, you were both preparing to perform at Mag West. You in particular were nervous to get back to performing after not doing it for a while. Now that you've done the show, how do you feel? Do you feel like you had a reason to be nervous?
I feel horrible. Okay, I'll just, because this is a safe space, I honestly feel like that's the worst performance I've ever given in terms of like technical performance. Um, it was just, it's been so long that I think it's been, I want to say 7 years since I've been on stage, because basically the last time I played a show was 2019, and then I injured both of my hands on the final episode of Steven Universe, and I was unable to play a set basically until like, or an hour long set till this year basically. And actually, when I said yes to Mag West, I wasn't even sure
Yeah.
if I could do it. So that's why I asked Miles and friends, like, can you all back me up on stage? I'm so nervous about this. Um, and I practiced a lot, but I feel like my adrenaline was just like spiking so much on stage, and my stomach felt so like, usually after like, you know, two songs or something, I feel warmed up, you know, like, okay, I got this. But after the second song and it wasn't going away, I thought, okay, this is just going to be the whole set. But I mean, the thing that matters to me though, like, um, so, you know, there's that side of it, the technical side of it, right? But then there's also the side where like I just want to like show up for people, right? Like I just want to like connect with people and show up and be there, even if it's not perfect. And that was really nice. And everyone was so supportive, and it made me feel so lucky. And I loved being on stage with Miles and everybody. And so I feel like from like a connection perspective, from a vibes perspective, it was awesome. From like a me being hard on myself and technical perspective, I feel like I invented new mistakes on stage that I'd never made in practice before. And it
There's
was
no
pretty
way you
brutal
could have
listening
prepared for
back.
it.
Yeah, I can't prepare for that. I just have to play more. And
Yep.
speaking of which, I am playing more. I'm doing a show, a local show in November.
Ooh.
Jason's going to be there too, actually.
Yeah.
Oh,
Um,
cool.
We're planning a sort of classical fusion themed show where it's a little more centered on the acoustic side of it. There will be some electronics too, but it's like very focused on the like kind of people who came from the classical sphere who like video game music. So we just kind of thought we'll do a mini Mag West, and it'll be really fun.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Heck
Thank
yeah.
you for asking.
Okay. Well, let's. Okay. Next song for Ivy then. You recently
Next
got
song.
to arrange. Next song. Next question. You recently got to arrange and produce the song "Praise" from Rebecca Sugar's new
Yes.
album "Lonely Magic." Can you take us through that process? What was it like from
Ooh,
first getting
yes.
asked to work on it to finishing it?
Um, yeah, I got brought on at the very end basically because Praise was pretty much the last song that needed to be arranged. And on the album, it's in a particular position where it's not really a banger type track. It's sort of a transitional track, or it's in a place where it needs to connect the songs on either side, which one of them is like a really loud banger, which the music video got just got released recently. It's called "This Is a Love Song," and then the last song on the album, on the other side of Praise, is like a really gentle, beautiful string arrangement that is sort of the end point of the album's journey. And so Jeff and Rebecca were really stumped on how to arrange it, so they asked me to come in. Me and Slash really, but I ended up taking it on because I had really particular ideas about it. Um, so the assignment was to link between those two songs. So, in other words, I have to build some sort of arc, right? That takes you from this high point to this mellow closure point. But at the same time, the song itself is about stillness and about being stuck in a mind loop. So, like, I have to capture the feeling of stillness at the same time as like this emotional journey. But I feel like that kind of thing, that kind of subtlety is exactly up my wheelhouse, or at least I
Yeah.
have a lot of fun doing that kind of thing. So a lot of the arrangement was just trying to like capture a feeling of, that feeling of staticness and stillness and like that sort of almost like a toxic mindset, um, while kind of taking the song to a point where it makes sense to end at the thesis of the album.
Hmm.
So it's like a very subtle work, and I recognized while I was doing it, this isn't going to be like the banger. It doesn't get a music video or anything, but it was. But I like felt proud of the arrangement. Like I felt really happy that I got to contribute, and um, it's a really. I don't know if you guys have heard the whole album, but it's. I would really recommend listening to it if you are any kind of creative because it is Rebecca's first very personal work, like very personal and autobiographical work that walks through their career, and it has a lot to say about working in a creative industry and the state of art and industry right now. And I think
Yeah.
it's something that a lot of us need to hear. So I would highly recommend it if you're feeling uh, just if you're an artist at all, or even if you just wanna or if you want to hear something beautiful, or if you want to hear or if you just need encouragement about the state of things right now, it's a good reminder that um, it's a good reminder of why you should keep making art and why you should persevere.
Hmm. Um, yeah. Is how does the process of arranging a vocal song differ from your personal music?
Hmm. Well, when I work with vocal songs, I take on a very different role, I guess. I go from being like the leader of the vision to like background support,
Hmm.
and I enjoy that role too. So it's like you want to bring out the vocals, or if there's another songwriter involved, you want to bring out their vision and their moods while making it good. You know what I mean? Not that what they do isn't good, but like as a like producer, I have my opinions, right, about what would just you know
Yeah.
what would be like a sauce to add to this.
Yeah.
So it's a little different just because I'm in a very supportive role, and I wouldn't necessarily say it's my vision, um, versus my personal music. It's very much about like
Right.
what I want to say, and like even like the way you mix is different, right? You want the vocals
Totally.
front and center.
You got to leave a hole for
For
Um,
them.
sure.
yeah, but Miles, you write a lot of vocal songs. Like, how do you treat that differently
Oh
than
yeah.
your instrumentals?
Yeah. because there's just so much less I have to do on the instrumental side. Because if I'm going to do vocals, then I want to leave a lot of room for the vocals. At least this is what I've kind of learned about myself in the last couple of years. It's just like I don't really want anything else to dilute what's happening, so I want like less voices, because it's not only providing like a melody, but it's also providing like lyrics and vocal tone and everything like that. There's so many more factors that you're putting into a piece, so like stepping away from other sides of it, I don't know, is helpful. But I don't know.
It's kind of like going for like high impact in the instrumentation versus high detail, right?
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, it's interesting. It's definitely different. Like I usually have to plan.
I'm so sorry, my kids are playing in the other room.
That's your ambiance.
I will mute myself so you can talk.
You don't need to mute yourself. It's fine. Yeah, it is. If I'm starting a piece, I usually have to know that it's going to be a vocal piece or not. Because I don't want to disappoint myself by having to change things. Because I really just want the experience to be fun. Okay, this is the last question for Aivi. You stated a few years ago on a charity stream that Hot Wheels are your favorite toy. Is that still the case, or do you have a new favorite toy?
Well, first of all, I have to show it off again. This is my beautiful Subaru. Okay, so I feel like I just kind of go along with my kids. Like my kid kind of stopped doing Hot Wheels. I still am finding that I like small things. I feel like that's a very neurospicy thing to say. I like miniature things.
It's also
but,
yeah, continue, sorry.
I don't know what my favorite toy is right now. But I guess with Hot Wheels, it was more like, since I grew up raised as a girl, right? Like my parents coming to the States and kind of not really knowing, okay, how do Americans do girl boy? Okay, they do this, they do that. So they just really stuck to the script. And I never got Hot Wheels growing up. And when I had my kid, like I was very intentional about like, I'm not going to gender his toys. I'm just going to like let him kind of figure out what he likes. And it turns out he loves cars. He loves machines. He loves whacking things with sticks. And it's like, okay, you just have to like act like a stereotypical. That's totally cool. But yeah. It's just, it was so funny to me that like, I'm the mom that will like let you be. If you want to wear a dress, whatever. But my kid's like, no, I want to get things with like sticks. It's fine.
Yeah.
So I found out like Hot Wheels are like, you can get them for like $1 each. They're so cheap.
Oh, nice.
Like you can't get a Barbie for $1. Like it's crazy.
So you probably can't get a Barbie for $15.
I haven't checked because no one in this house has been interested in them yet. But like I see how people just amass these collections. They're just so easy to obtain. Even if you ask people, do you have cars to get rid of? They'll just give them to you. Anyway, yeah. I don't have a toy right now, I guess, is the answer.
Well, maybe you should. Han says, I feel like you'd like Calico Critters, so look those up and see if you'd like those.
Calico Critters?
Oh my gosh, are they like the Sylvanian family things or whatever?
The what?
That used to be popular in Asia. Yes! Oh, they're so cute.
So
they are very cute.
I guess they were right on the money then.
Yeah. Okay. So this is a question for me. Han asked, you posted a sneak peek of a new song titled A Little Bit Farther, and you said that I was going to record it in a studio with full band. If that's happened by now, yes, it has. What was the process like? What's it like to record in a studio versus at home? It's so much better. Like, I will always prefer, it makes it feel way more official, but also performing with other people is like the best. It's so isolating, not isolating, it's just it's not as alive when you're doing it by yourself. And so when there's a bunch of other people around watching you and being in charge of other things, like performing in a studio, especially when you're live tracking with other people, which is like, I never want to do it any other way. It is magical. Because you really lock in, and like, especially who I was performing with, which was my brother. He's like the only person on this planet that I like. We have this connection with music, with performance, that is unlike anything else I know in life, and so we really lock in with each other, and we really don't need
It's that sibling synergy.
Yeah, and we really we don't really need to communicate about it verbally. We can just look at each other. Awesome. And that's what it's been like for a long, long time. Can I talk about the songwriting process of this song? The song is called Here Goes Nothing now, I think. And I've kind of, I've been calling it a musical theater jazz fusion song, because it's very musical theater-y, like declarative statement, characters going on an adventure type deal. That's what it sounds like. And I had initially written the first lyrics when I was in a much better place. And then I looked at it again after like a month, and I was like, this is far too happy. And so I ended up changing the lyrics to kind of reflect how I really feel about things. And the whole song is about being like stuck as a passenger in my own body, because the chronic symptoms that I feel make it so that I don't really, it makes it feel like I'm not really experiencing any moment. It more feels like I'm just sort of passing through life. And it really sucks. And so there's a lot of lyrics about like being like this, the first lines are like, the lovely place we're in, picture the impression, I'm trapped behind the lens. Like, you know, I'm not actually experiencing it. And this whole time I was burnt out. The whole time I was writing, I was really burnt out. And upset. So the whole song is just, if you listen to the words, you'll probably not feel good. But if you just listen to the music, then you might feel nice.
I love that juxtaposition, though. Like really depressing lyrics with
and
really uplifting. It creates like this very complex feeling, which I think is just right, you know?
Yeah, and there are a lot of moments in the piece where I'm doing the harmony of the piano line and not doing the lead melody, because I felt like that suits the perspective that I'm taking, which is like, I am still beneath the surface. Like, I'm not the main voice. And it really kicked in the meaning of the song like a month ago, when someone was like, oh, what did you do today? And I really could not remember. And I was like, I don't think I am experiencing or remembering anything I do. And it was upsetting.
Relatable, actually.
Anyway, I'll move on. Yes, we did record that song. It's going to come out in November, or December. First week of December, actually. Okay, I premiered a show called a late night show called the Tonight is a Night Show. The show has a segment called You Made It. where I interview other creatives about the creative process. How did I go about getting the first guest, Rebecca Sugar? Well, very easy. I talked to Aivi.
Friend of a friend situation.
Yeah, friend of a friend. Tonight is a night
But
show.
also, I think the timing worked out perfectly because, the Tonight is a Night show really wants to center artists and like the difficulty of the process. And
Yeah,
I had just finished working on Praise, and this album was about that. And
yeah,
it was very easy to just say to
yeah.
Rebecca, do you want a space to talk about it? And they said, yeah.
Yeah, it was, and it was really nice. What has it been like learning how to interview? It's been good. Each one I do, I learn a lot more about how to structure the flow of things. And it's hard though. Luckily for this, I'm not trying to do anything really professional or anything. It's strictly casual, and to have just a space to talk about art. Any hints who the next guests will be? Well, it's Louis Zong tomorrow, and then in October it's going to be Lilith Walther, who did Bloodborne, PSX, and Nightmare Cart.
Oh, sweet.
Which is going to be pretty fun. She requested the Halloween episode.
That'll be so good.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I played that one at a little demo thing sometime before MagWest. There was like a mini MagWest up here in Portland, and I got to try it. The card game for the first time.
Nice. Yes, and we have a November guest, but I won't say that person yet. Okay, so this is for everybody. To throw a TNS interview question back at us, do you remember the first time that you encountered someone who was better than you at everything you did? How do you cope with the creative jealousy? Hunter?
Oh my god, that's the most terrifying experience. I think the way that I cope with that feeling is that I mostly just try to consider that everybody kind of has their own path and is always following their own path, and like, everybody kind of has their own different experiences, and nobody's path really is like a direct straight line or whatever. And so I just try to think of myself as on like a different point in my own arc compared to them at whatever point in their arc that they are, or I'm just like, wow, everything you do is amazing. I try not to channel that in like a comparative way, I guess.
Yeah.
They're just at a different point than me.
That makes a lot of sense. That's very nice. You don't hate anyone.
Healthy.
I would like to think that I am the point where, like, really like toxic in that particular way. I do not really experience a great deal of that kind of jealousy anymore. But I am also much further in my arc now. Like I've just made so much more stuff and like met so many more people and done all of this other stuff that it's like I am just past the point of needing to feel that way. I'm confident in my work now, and I think that is really the switch that flips. Is like feeling self-confident.
Yeah. Oh, that's really cool. Ivy, what about you?
I think I don't feel a whole lot of jealousy in terms of like, I don't tend to look at people and think, oh, they're so much better than me at a particular thing, because like I feel like I'm the only person who can be me, Like you can't be a better me because you don't know what it takes to be me. I don't know what it takes to be you. So I'm mostly focused on just wanting to be the best myself that I can be. I mean, there will be times that, maybe somebody will have a particular skill that I'm like, I wish that I had that, but it's not a feeling of jealousy, more so as like, if anything, I just tend to get really insecure about myself, like, oh man, I'm so bad, more than like feeling jealous.
Yeah.
Like one thing, actually, it's funny, we were talking about live performance. Live performance is something that very quickly puts me in my insecure feels,
Uh-huh.
or I'm just like, oh man, that person's so good, like I shouldn't be here at all, kind of feeling.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there are times where that's not to say that I'm, like completely non like incapable of feeling jealousy or whatever. Like I can feel it. Um, there are times when like, if I'm striving for something and someone's striving for something else, but it's like, you know, they get a certain result and then I don't. Sometimes I'm kind of like, oh, I wish I might get a feeling of like, not even, it's not like, um, I guess, how do I describe it? It's not like I don't want them to have that. I just also want it for me.
Yeah.
It's just like,
Yeah. That's
it's not like I want your cake. It's like I would like to clone your cake so I can also have
uh,
one.
that's
That's probably like
awesome. I want it too.
yeah, that's probably the closest to jealousy I get. But otherwise, I feel like, I don't know, my way of feeling any sort of competition with people tends to be a little more like competitive, cooperative type,
Mm.
where it's like I like us to like
Pushing each
spur
other.
each other to be the best we can be, but it's
Yeah.
they're very yeah. That's
Yeah.
that's my answer.
I would say
Okay.
that I don't really feel that way anymore. I mean, to like continue from the question I answered in the actual interview that I did, like, um, I there are people that I know I don't like working with because they I just don't enjoy their vibe, and I think that's true for everyone. Um, but it took me a long time to get over being jealous of people, um, or feeling insecure, um, and my solution is to just be a diva. Um,
Hell yeah.
It's a good one.
my sister, I was talking to my sister the other day, and she's like, "Yeah, like 10 years ago, I looked at you and I was like, oh, Miles is a diva." Um, and I fully accept that. Um, and I think I kind of just realized that I wanted to just be the absolute best that I could be. And so, the past however many years is me working to become whatever the best version of myself is. And that's no one else. And no one can be me. So,
Yes.
yeah, that's how I feel. Okay, next question. How does your queerness and transness influence your music and creative work, if it influences it at all? Okay, that's one
Miles,
question.
would you like to go first?
Oh, sure. I mean, a lot of the time it makes me upset, um, because it makes me think about stuff, that I like, working on a specific piece the past like month has made me confront a lot of things about my identity that I don't really enjoy confronting.
Mm.
And it was also coming at the time when I was really burnt out, so it like was not a good time for me to be analyzing these feelings. But otherwise, I don't know if it influences my music. I think because it is me, and I make the music, then I think it does. It's all one thing. And yeah, so it's like saying, culture is anything that people are doing, and so queer culture is anything a queer person is doing, or queer people are doing. So I'm making trans and queer music just because I am a trans and queer person. That's how I feel
I
about
think
it.
that's a good way to put it. Yeah.
What about you, Hunter?
I don't really think that it does overall, other than kind of what you just said, which is like in like a by default sort of a way. But I guess for me though, it's not something that I particularly enjoy like speaking about or interfacing with in like a public way. So I guess I don't really deliberately try to infuse my music with anything. It's like not a priority for me, I guess. But
Yeah,
yeah, that's my answer, I guess. It's not really.
Ivy.
So I feel like I feel like every facet of my identity it like influences how I make music, and like just everything from like the sort of being a third culture person, as in like not Asian, not American, but Asian American, for example. That has influenced a lot of the way I think about the lines between genre and the importance of naming things that are not either or, and the importance of like
Mm,
reclaiming space for yourself. Um, and like gender is a big thing that influences how I compose music as well, because like I sort of have this awareness of like what is my role in society, how am I supposed to be, and that comes out in music too, where it's like I play with that a little bit, like this is what people expect of me, I'm going to turn left here. um like that's really fun for me. And in
mhm,
terms of queerness and transness, that's related to gender for me. And I think there's just a lot of different ways that it might not be so outward in my music, but it's more for me personally, like different things I can experiment with, like my dynamic with a collaborator, for example. Like sometimes I am like, again, to use gendered words or whatever, let's say I'm in like, sometimes I want to choose a more masculine role in the music. And that's a way for me to like
Mm,
express that, you know? Or sometimes I want to choose a more feminine role in the music, whatever that means to me personally, like which might mean something else to somebody, but it's like not so much about what other people think; it's what I think, right, and what I'm expressing.
yeah.
Um, and I find that really fun, just getting to like try different roles and be in different spots. There's sometimes like uh, there's like a singer I worked with under I went under producer alias, and I'm not going to say what it is, but there's like a singer that I worked with, and she's a lesbian singer, but I took on the role of like something that a lot of her like male colleagues were doing, which was like doing like producer work for her. But I sort of had fun with that, like in the sense of like you know getting to like be that person for her. I don't know. It's like getting to be her prince. Like that's how I thought of it. Not in a romantic way, but in a musical way. And it was really fun for me to like
Yeah.
get to just kind of think that way and think like, how can I like lift her up? In terms of
that's really cool.
transness, I guess. Um, so in me and Slash's recent album, Meanwhile, I did have a sort of a little more explicit trans song, but again, only I know, right? And only Slash knows. It's not like something that's meant to make a big statement. But we have a song called Spice of Love. And when we were writing that, I basically said to Slash, like, can we just be like two dudes? Can we just be two dudes that like to kiss? Like, I'm short, you're tall. I'm a short guy, you're a tall guy. What does that sound like to you? And so we did this very like tracker core kind of song. Like, he kind of led that song, but that's that song in particular was really about that. It was about our dynamic, and kind of explicitly me taking on like asking him to imagine me like as basically like just imagine that like I'm your like little gay guy, your gay lover. Can we like make a song about that? And so I got to like express that side of my gender identity through music. Um, and I feel like bad because I don't want to sound like I'm trying to appropriate. you know, appropriate anyone else's identity or anything like that. But this is how I express myself through
Yeah, it doesn't
through
sound
music.
like you're appropriating anything.
Get to have fun with it.
Great. Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my
Okay.
answer.
The,
Um. All right. We have a little time left. Okay, this is a serious question. We'll have serious short answers. As people in a leadership role in DigiView, what is your advice slash feelings on managing slash manifesting a community? Ivy?
manifesting.
Okay, so I'm going to answer quickly without thinking too hard, but I feel like build from the ground up. Like the smallest iteration of your idea has to be present in your like one-on-one interactions with people. Like the kind of values that you want to imbue into your community, they have to like you should do that from like the micro level.
Yes.
Does that make sense? That's a more general thing, not just a digital fusion thing.
Yeah.
Um, but I think that just I think being a if you want I don't know just it's weird even thinking of myself as a community leader, but I am someone who just really likes people, you know, and and kind of like wants everybody to I don't know like
Yeah.
wants everybody's needs to be met, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's also tricky because everyone has different needs.
I think
But anyway, I'll just kind of rest at
small,
build from
build
the
big.
yeah
Yep. Small to large.
Yeah. I
yeah
think um, coming at it as like lead with your values and managing a community or like specifically for an event, I think you need to be keep people's like feelings in mind, but also be able to make decisions at any given moment that make the thing go forward. Um, and I think if you respect everyone, then that is just, accepted. And then you help make something great with a bunch of people. I think specifically when it comes to community, like treat everyone as a friend. And whether you're trying to build this out, everyone you meet is not just a potential member of your community. They might not be, but they are a potential friend. And if you go into every single space you go to with the idea in your mind that like I just want to be friends with people, I think you can grow something really organic and do cool things together. Hunter, what do you think?
I don't know if I can top either of those answers. I think you both kind of hit on what I would consider to be the most important things, which is like upholding the values that you care about in every sense that you can. For me, I think the most important things are like creating a space that is like welcoming and respectful. Everybody is communicative with one another. Those are the things that I try to uphold.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I like Ivy's answer a lot, actually.
yeah I actually did want to something came to mind like as I started kind of running through my experiences of being sort of not intentionally but sort of accidentally like kind of put into a position where I might be treated or seen or received as perceived as like a community leader in digital fusion. um, I think that there are a lot of unspoken things about being a person who's perceived that way, including like kind of what you have to carry. Like you sort of have to carry a lot of other people's like
Yeah.
feelings. And in my time, there have been bad actors who have tried to explicitly use my position in the community to enact personal grudges on people. and like by co-opting like social justice language and stuff like that, and putting me in this position where like if I don't act to carry out their personal grudge, I'm like, you know, a bad person or something. And that's a really stressful position to be in. And basically, I think that part of not just being a community leader, but just generally being in community, because nobody should have to deal with this kind of thing alone. Um, you do have to have boundaries. Like, I want to say everyone is welcome, and I think that's true, but you also have to be discerning about bad actors to protect your community. Because if you
Truly.
are like too welcoming and letting those kinds of people in, they're just going to try to tear everything down. That sounds very cynical, but that has
No,
been
that's
my
so real though.
experience.
If
Yeah.
if somebody is that way, or if somebody is a bigot or anything like that, you cannot give them an inch, or they will try to take a mile from you.
But it helps
That's
so much to just like, you don't have to be in it alone, just having invite your community to be a part of this too, and everybody will like take care of each other if those kinds of things come up.
yes.
All right, very last question. Fashion. What influences your style?
Yes.
We don't, and we're out of time technically. So, but this is
We started late.
to wrap it up. Hunter, what about you?
I don't know if I can say that I have any specific influences, I guess. The thing that I think about most with respect to fashion is really just trying to color coordinate every single thing that I own, and knowing all of the ways that I can utilize them to create like a cool color palette of some kind. But I don't know if I have any specific fashion influences. These days, it's mostly like when I stumble upon something really cool at a thrift store or whatever. That's my influence.
Nice. Ivy, what about you? You've been on a fashion journey.
I have been, and I would say today doesn't quite count because I'm in the middle of flea war zone, so I'm just wearing whatever. I mean, I like this sweater, but like, I'm not. I've not been so happy with my fashion lately because I've been living out of garbage bags. Like, that's literally my clothes are in garbage bags. So I'm just like, I gotta take the first thing I can find. But anyway, I think fashion is something I've always struggled with, but more recently I've been kind of figuring out how to express myself with it. And like for me, I sort of like keep a few keywords in mind. Um, about like the kind of aesthetic that I want to go for, and how I want to feel and how I want to show up. But also, there's a little bit of like playing with gender a bit, where it's like, for example, if I want to appear more feminine, um, you go for like lower volume clothing, as in things that are tighter to your skin and whatever. And if I want to lean a little more masculine that day, or like, then it'd be more high volume, or playing with the two of them and trying to mix and match in a certain way. And then also there's like, I don't know, there's color, there's texture, right? But what I've been learning is that uh, it is, it's been really fun for me to actually make a little time every day to like actually dress the way I want to dress. Like that's such a confidence boost. Like I feel like um, it's art, like as artists we just like to express ourselves, and I'm like, as a cerebral nerd, I've been trying to tell myself it is okay to express yourself with your physical body.
Yeah.
Like, I like playing piano. That's really important to me in expressing myself. And so I also like to adorn myself with clothes that, you know,
Yeah.
show what I'm feeling or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my answer. How about you, Miles? You are very fashionable.
Thank you. I um I don't like wearing any color.
Goth through and through.
Well, ever since I started dyeing my hair, I had like a real crisis of wearing any color.
That makes sense.
And it was like hurting me to wear any color with my hair. And so I was like, I'm just gonna get all black clothes from now on. And so I had always like wanted to be goth anyway, from like when I was in middle school. And so I was like goth from middle school to the beginning of high school, and then people were like, "That's weird." So I was like, "Great, I'm just gonna dress like a weirdo." And so I dressed like that for a while, and then pretty much last year or like a year and a half ago, I was like, "Okay, it's time." So I really just want to look like some sort of vampire, and I think about shape a lot of outfits, and like how things sit on me, and like if I am wearing a more like a tighter top, then I'm thinking about a looser, flowy pair of pants of some kind, and it's the opposite. Like if I have a big baggy shirt, I'll wear some skinnier jeans or something like that.
Contrast.
Yeah, so like when you don't have a lot of color, you contrast with shape, and so
Or
I think
texture.
yeah, and I also have like I get really uncomfortable with specific types of fabrics, so it's all very controlled. Honestly, the best goth clothes for me are from the Express women's line. Go to Express and go to the back, and
Heck yes.
there are some amazing shirts and pants back there for it's like I don't know, it's like preppy goth, I would say. It's like a refined like preppy goth is kind of my style. Not right now, but like or the mock neck tank top. That's just the all-time best look.
I remember like the moments like I watched Utena, the show Revolutionary Girl Utena for the first time, and just like immediately went straight to the men's section of the store next time I went shopping.
Oh, yeah.
Like that show did numbers
Right?
on many.
It's
many
invigorating.
women.
All
It
of
is
my
incredibly invigorating.
all of my clothes are pretty much women's clothes. Clothing doesn't have any gender. Go to wherever in the store.
Yes.
It's a piece of clothes.
When I
Good
realized
for it.
I could do that, it definitely like unlocked something for me. Like there was so much more to explore fashion wise that was like, oh, this is actually just not off limit. Like I spent years being like, why is there all this like way more colorful stuff over and like I want that. I want those cool pants. They're all
Right.
colorful. I'm like thick of khakis and denim. And yeah, you can just do that. You can just do it. No one cares. It's great.
Do
And it
whatever you
doesn't
want.
matter what your body type is too, because you can
Yeah.
like if there's a particular body shape that you want, like you can use clothes to like shape that. Like you are a canvas, no matter what you look like. So
That's right. Get a bunch of tattoos too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do that.
do your face, have fun.
Okay, I'll get a face tattoo, Ivy, just because you said.
I didn't. Sorry, I didn't do makeup. I meant anybody can do makeup. Get tattoos. Like, have fun with your appearance. Don't feel vain about it. Like you got one body.
That's right. One life.
Hmm.
What one word from everybody is a parting word? Hunter? You can have 3 words.
Spotify is evil.
Ivy?
Joe Hisaishi.
Thanks.
You get
Miles?
3 you get 3 words.
Good.
You don't even need the third one.
Joe Hisaishi. Good. Miles.
My 3 words.
No.
Goodbye to everyone.
Thanks for your amazing questions, everybody.
Yeah, this is a great